Hello, good morning everybody. So my name is Sachin Sawant. I am Senior Vice President at CISA. So our today's topic is beyond encryption. So most organizations, they feel that encryption is good enough, okay? But then thing is that attackers don't try to break your AES 256. What they do, they generally look for keys which are lying around, and they are not breaking that encryption, but actually they are looking around that encryption to get into the keys and then get into that system. So we are moving to today's agenda. So we'll start with why key management is often the weakest link. Then we'll look at the lessons from real breaches. Then we'll move to key lifecycle management, strategic framework, how we are going to build agile and secure organizations, then modern toolkit, and aligning security with business objective, future trends, and then finally we'll wind up with strategic takeaways. So encryption is only as strong as the way we protect and manage the keys. So imagine locking all your doors and putting that key under your doormat. And that's what most of the companies do. In every breach we have studied, attackers didn't need to manage or crack the encryption. They found or misused poorly managed keys. This is a business risk. It can cost you millions. And the most important thing over here is that it erodes the customer trust. Our goal is to manage the keys with the same way as our financial assets or safety protocols. It's time to shift the keys from the server room to the boardroom. It is not only IT problem, it is business lifeline. So 3 brands, 3 headlines, but only one pattern. Access to data was gained around encryption and not through it. So first one was retail chain in UK. It happened in this April 2025. And personal data for all 6.5 million users got stolen. Company had to shut down their systems, and then it impacted their supply chain. So the issue was that the encryption keys and then the data they protected were stored on the same system. So once attacker got into one part of the system, they navigated into other part, found out the keys, and then they break their systems. So their IT team really acted fast to ensure that there is no ransomware lockup. Then there was global luxury retailer brand. So in that brand, similar thing happened. And then the problem here was they had not implemented proper access control and segregation. Then third one was ride-sharing platform. Over there also similar thing happened. And over there the problem was slightly different. So they had actually stored their password into hard-coded files and scripts. And then through that, the attacker could gain access to their cloud storage. Couple of other interesting breaches which you can see here is open source library vulnerability. So this happened in 2021. And then attackers actually leveraged a 0-day in widely used library to gain access. And they pivoted to hunt the encryption keys. So why keys? Because if they can get the keys, they can compromise the keys and decrypt sensitive data. And here, same thing happened. They actually got into their database and cloud storage. Similarly, here, they accessed their KMS admin console, and they generated new keys, disabled encryption. Then another one was supply chain compromise. So it happened in 2020. So your attacker compromised build environment and inserted malicious code into real updates. And then it got digitally signed with vendors' official signing keys only. So what happened? People felt that these updates are legitimate, and then they accepted it. And 18,000 organizations affected because of this particular breach. So key lifecycle management. So it starts with key generation. So key generation is where it all begins. So strong key is the foundation of all cryptographic security. So HSMs or cloud-based key management systems ensure that they are never exposed in plain text on a developer's laptop or any untrusted systems. It is also recommended to use dedicated cloud KMS accounts under your own control to generate and manage keys, rather than relying on shared or vendor-driven environments. Then another is your distribution. So key distribution is actually as important as your key generation, because you need to get those keys to the systems which really want those keys. So in and most of the breaches or leaks happen during this handoff. The next is secure storage. So it is very important to store the keys centrally and one particular place. So PCI DSS requirement 3 talks about this particular thing. You can use FIPS certified HSMs to get this done. Also, you can use cloud key vaults. The next is your key rotation. So even the strongest keys degrade over time. All of you know that you have to change the passwords also after 30 days, 90 days, whatever is your policy. Similar thing is applicable for keys as well. So we follow time-based rotation. You can do it in 90 days, or maybe it could be based on different events. Yeah. So maybe if you are suspecting a breach, at that time also you can do it. Then comes secure deletion. It is called as key destruction also. So here you are going to do secure zeroization. So what does that mean? You don't have to just delete the keys. You have to wipe all copies beyond the recovery. Then comes your governance. So you have to actually ensure that you are governing all your keys. And so over here, access control is extremely important. Then you are going to use your approval keys so that nobody can change your keys without the formal review. So what are the key challenges and mitigation strategies in live key rotation? So first and foremost is downtime risk. Because if you are going to rotate your keys at that time, it is quite possible that you will have a downtime. So what you have to do is you have to use hot rotation or zero downtime key rollover techniques. You can implement dual encryption support. So services can decrypt with older keys while encrypting with new keys. Then re-encryption overhead. So here there is something called as lazy re-encryption, which you have to perform. So re-encrypt data on access, whatever is available. You don't have to look for everything at once. And then you can schedule rotation during your low traffic periods, or you can implement throttle background re-encryption jobs. Then comes your staggered versus bulk rotation complexity. So here, I mean, you have to decide whether you have to do it in staggered manner or you have to do it bulk rotation. It is always advisable to do it in staggered manner whenever there is low load on the system. Then backward compatibility. Can you move a slide back? Yeah. So backward compatibility. So system should handle legacy data encrypted with old keys. So here there is something called as encryption ring. Okay. So if you have it, then you can go back and then you can actually have that backward compatibility. So you can use multiple keys at the same time. Then human error. So manual processes during rotation can lead to misconfiguration. So here you have to ensure that you can use policy-driven orchestration as well as automated workflows. So strategy framework. So there are 4 things which mainly comes in strategy framework. So first is automation. So manual key management is slow as well as it is error prone. It is hard to scale. So automation ensures policy-driven key rotation and lifecycle management. So there is no risk to keys forgotten or no surprises during audit. Then secure storage hardware-backed HSM. So HSMs, probably all of you know that these are tamper-resistant environment for key storage, and then actually it prevents extraction even by privileged insiders as well. So there is something called as DEK and KEK. So DEK is data encryption key and KEK is key encryption key. So the key which is encrypting your key. So you have to ensure that both the keys are stored at different places. So you can store one key in database, another key can be at HSM or it can be at file level. Then comes your governance. So you have to implement RBAC, role-based access control. Also, you need to have audit trails and reporting. It is extremely important from forensic perspective. And then last but not the least is business alignment. At the end, we are doing everything for business. So we have to ensure that this key management is mapped with compliance. So we have to take care of different compliances, PCI DSS, high trust, and many things. So here, you should be able to take a risk-based decision. So compliant versus secure and agile orgs. So passing an audit is not the same as being secure. So you can ask anyone who passed the audit right before the breach. So compliant org documents policies and perform periodic manual key changes, whereas secure and agile org maintain live inventories, they enforce least privilege access, they auto-rotate keys, they test revocation SLAs, they integrate controls into their DevSecOps workflows. So NIST, CKMS, and PCI DSS both stress documented processes, minimal custodians, rotation of keys, and dual control. So the modern toolkit. So first and foremost in modern toolkit is, of course, HSM. So these are physical tamper-resistant devices designed to protect your cryptographic keys. If someone tries to physically open or tamper with an HSM, it automatically zeroizes all stored keys. They provide secure environment for key generation, storage, and cryptographic operations without exposing raw keys to the OS or applications. Then your cloud-native KMS platforms. These are managed services from cloud providers that integrate key management with IAM, and it reduces your operational burden. And then it helps you for global key distribution as well. Then third is third-party centralized KM solutions. There are multiple solutions available in the market, and it helps you to integrate with REST APIs. It provides multi-tenant support in bigger organizations. Also, you can have policy-based key access as well as approval. So how we can align our cryptographic operations with business objectives? Because at the end, business objectives are very important. So first is business continuity. So you can use zero downtime key rotation as well as dual key support to prevent outages during your cryptographic updates. Then regulatory compliance. Everybody has to meet certain regulatory compliance standards like PCI DSS, high trust, ISO. So here you can implement your FIPS certified HSMs, you can maintain key lifecycle policies, and log all key events for audits. Then risk reduction. So here, if you have to reduce your risk, you have to use hardware-backed key protection. You have to enforce RBAC. You have to ensure that there is automatic key rotation to prevent stale keys from being exposed. Then comes your performance and cost optimization. So you have to avoid this high operational costs. So there is something called as envelope encryption. So that is something you can use to reduce your cost as well as improve your performance. And at the end, customer trust. Yeah, so you have to preserve our brand reputation and ensure this secure transactions. So for that, you can use code signing with HSMs for software integrity. Also, you can use data encryption at rest as well as in transit for end user privacy. Future trends. So keys which you are going to generate today may not survive tomorrow because there are many things. First is this AI-powered anomaly detection. So vendors are increasingly applying machine learning to detect unusual key usage pattern. It is an early warning for credential abuse and insider threats. So automation, of course, significantly reduces breach costs in practice. So this is something which is emerging. Another one is, of course, quantum. You must have heard about post-quantum cryptography. So NIST has finalized its first set of PQC standards. And then NIST is encouraging that you should start this early transition planning. Now, according to me, of course, I mean, we keep on talking about quantum. So we need to plan these migrations as soon as possible to avoid any Q-day scramble. Then confidential computing. So it uses your secure enclaves, so it isolates your key operations from host operating system. Now, strategic takeaways. So very important slide. So why we are actually doing all these things. So first is you have to draft a comprehensive key management policy. So comprehensive key management policy is the foundation for all key related activities. So it clarifies the roles, responsibilities, and compliance requirement across the organization. Then you have to adopt centralized KMS or HSMs. So it ensures consistent key governance and strong security controls. It also reduces complexity and improves auditability. Then you have to implement zero trust security. So keys should never be universally accessible. A zero trust approach ensures that every key request is authenticated, authorized, as well as logged. Then your automatic key rotation and access logs. So automatic key rotation and access log, we have to keep on rotating the keys every 90 days or whatever policy or organization is going to set, and then you should be able to access those logs anytime whenever you want. So if there is any breach scenario or forensic is looking for those logs, you should be able to actually provide those logs. Then integrate your key management with your CI/CD pipeline. So integrating your key management with CI/CD pipeline will ensure that you are not doing this stuff manually. Here you are relying on automation. So automation will take care of everything. So next is your RBAC, that is nothing but role-based access control. So here you can, using this particular thing, a particular feature of identity and access management, you can limit exposure by granting least privilege. So detailed access log will provide accountability as well as forensic insight. Then periodic reviews and simulated drills. So regular reviews and drills test our readiness for key compromise scenarios. So you can use tools to monitor and trigger alerts very proactively. Then comes your cross-training and awareness. So key management is not just a technical function. So you need to think about security first. So this is very important that everybody is aware about how keys are being managed. Even the junior most developer in your organization. And last and not the least is compliance dashboard. So we should be able to visualize our key life cycle. So we have to ensure that our keys are being created, tracked, and monitored throughout the life cycle. So encryption without key governance is just a hope, and governance with automation is resilience. So with this thought, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.